I've got a lot of family that are Palace fans, and I was having dinner with them yesterday, and they were like, "Oh my god, we're killing it, we're killing it." I was like, "You seen the news today?" They were like, "What's that?" That Man United might want him. Their faces, they were like, "No,
don't destroy him like that. Don't do that to him."
No, he will. Listen, I read something about him today that made me really, really scared. So, Amorim has been called out a lot for saying that the system isn't the problem. Basically, it's the players and their intensity and the way they behave in the positions. And everyone's like, no, it's you. They could be right. There's an interview from Oliver Glasner that's come out. It's a little old, like it's in like a few months old, where he literally says the systems are irrelevant. The formations are not that important. It's the way people apply themselves when they're in those positions and what they do and how they work. And, you sort of sit there and I'm like, it gave me the willies in the sense of I'm someone that thinks Amorim's got to go now. I don't think he's turning this round. And it could be that he is an absolutely dirt coach. It's all on him. And I kind of hope that's the truth. I actually hope that we've fixed the culture. The squad rebuilding has actually been really good. I hope that we've kept players that are actually of a much higher level than we think. And a new guy comes in, gets them working, fixes us, and we are killing it. And I'll sit there and go, I'm so sorry I doubted it. But I've got this part of me. And the expression and the phrase I use is I feel a little bit like a turkey that's caught Bernard Matthews smiling at him. And I can't help but think we're going to bring someone in like Oliver Glasner and go, oh, we're saved. And then 6 months in, when we're not winning any games, we're like, oh, why did it go wrong with him as well? Adapt. I hope that isn't the case. But yeah,
one thing, Terry,
second season, he's killing it. Sorry,
one thing I was talking to my mate about the other day, which I said I've been saying for a long time you should have done. But you know what you haven't done on the recent few managers? You haven't gone for a Premier League manager.
I was looking at the same thing because I just Man United made me very unwell. They made me very unwell. They've made me very sick.
To the point where you support Arsenal.
Yeah, this is all true. Like they made me feel very sick, and it's one of them things for me where it's a bit like not on a real level. It's football. I hate it in the moment, but when I stop streaming and when I stop watching the game and I'm sitting, like I did a FIFA career game last night. I did it for 3 hours. I'm not even gonna lie. It's the happiest I've been on stream for I appreciate it, man. I did feel like an old man. Like
you look like a granddad on there. I'm not gonna lie, man.
I beat Arsenal though. The season. I was really bad in pre-season. I was shitting it. Played Arsenal, Shesko and Baliba. Baliba scored a volley.
For me, it was you looking through the transfers.
That one killed me.
Yeah, do you know what it was? I maybe should have planned what I was going to do before I went live. I just played the game. But that's how you play when you're at home, didn't you? You don't sit there and go, right, who am I going to go? I'm sitting there going, shit, who do I buy now? And your mind starts going blank when you're live on the air. Think about players. You're like, who should I go for? And I'm a bit weird when I play. I like players that I know. But yeah, anyway, because I like to run on the game. The point I was making is, what was it? Yeah, no, I'm not very, United made me feel a bit ill. And the thing is, it's like, I've seen United fans fighting and arguing the last maybe couple of months. I know more ball than you because I turned on. So this is like the funny pattern of it. I'm getting called out by people now that have been Amorim out since like May, June. They're like, oh, basically it's, I know more ball than you because you only want him out now. I'm like, I'm not even about wanting him out. I just think he's got to go. I'm not with the out people. Do you know what I'm saying? Like I'm not with them, man. And then it's like, well, hang on, what do you mean? What are you calling Terry out for? I wanted him out since March. You've only just joined the party in the last 3 months. What are you talking about? I wanted him out from day one. I know more ball than you. And a lot of the Man United discourse online, when you cut beneath the surface, you scratch a little. A lot of it is just, I was right. And I'm sitting there like, yeah, you are kind of right about this one. But I also remember you, my old pedigree chum, telling everyone that when Rashford leaves, we'll be a great team. When McTominay goes, watch us ball out. Once Fred's gone, this team's going to fly. So this kind of point scoring thing's crazy because I would say United fans, including myself, by and large, we're like, for one thing we get right about the progression of our club, that conversation about what's going to progress us, for everything we all get right, I think we're all between 5 to 10 things wrong. And it's not our fault. It's not about ball knowledge. It's we don't control what the club's actually doing. So we only know what they release and then you give an opinion on it. And then it turns out that actually this wasn't true, that wasn't true, or this has happened. Anyway, but I'm really worried about... I actually think that we've got to sack Ruben Amorim. I think he's got to go. I'm a little bit frustrated we haven't done it yet in the sense of I've got this horrible feeling we're going to wait to the Liverpool game. maybe you wait for the Liverpool game because we'll probably lose it anyway, and the new manager gets a bit of a free hit with the fans, and that element's important. But I cannot believe he hasn't gone yet. I cannot believe that. My fear is that we're going to do what we did last year, or actually with most of our managers, leave it too long into the season, because the season is recoverable now. But the one thing for me, and people can debate who the new manager should be or not, and I see merit in every debate. I see merit in Southgate. I see merit in Areola. I think there is, and this is the problem. Some people are going to get it right. Some people are going to get it wrong. It doesn't really matter for me, because I see the view of, if we like crush the expectations by getting a Southgate, and we get a manager in that can work with the bang average squad we've got, we might become harder to beat. We might become a team that can win more in the short term as we're building the squad. We go for a more sophisticated, more fashionable manager that gives us hype. If they come in and they don't start well, that hype and that excitement can turn to anger very quickly. You could get that bounce and a great start, and that means that hype and expectation goes through the roof. And then when we settle and level out, because the squad isn't amazing, you get that same, you're a fraudster. You won 5 of your first 6 games. Now we've only won 1 in the last 3, last 4. We're being frauded. I worry about all these permutations, because let's be honest, some people are going to guess right what happens next. The manager, how good or bad we're going to do. But all any of us are doing is pissing in the wind and hoping to get nothing on our legs, because all bets are off with Man United, because every manager that we've brought in, every new signing that we get, none of it has gone how anybody has really predicted every time. Does that make sense? Like, some of us have gone, that ain't going to work, or this is going to work, or this is going to be amazing, or this will be trash. Some are right, some are wrong. But for me, I don't think there is any one football fan, any one journalist who can genuinely, hand on their heart, sit there and tell you what I'm telling you I 100% believe in, and I'm very confident will happen. I can't. My faith has been absolutely blown to smithereens. It really has. And like, I'll hear an argument as to why we should go for Xavi. I'm like, oh, I love that. And then hear a counter argument like, we don't have technical midfielders and we have no left wing. I'm like, oh, we're fucked. Like, I'm in that kind of mind space where I'm done with it. And I'm at a point where I'm not really going to debate many Man United fans over these subjects anymore, because as I say, they make good points.
Why would you? You're an Arsenal fan now?
Yeah, I'm done with it. I'm out of it. I just find it all a little bit like, how do I get the right way? It's people. It's like, yeah, I've got some things wrong. I've got some things right as well. And this is the maddest bit. It's like the kicking the can down the road. I remember when Ollie went, and at the time I was like, I don't know if I want him sacked. Why? I'm not sure that we're structured right, and I don't know if the new guy is actually going to make us better or, you know, improve us enough over the next 4 or 5 years. And they were like, no, it'll be fine. First year, we did win some trophies with Ten Hag, but we ended up in the end where I feared us being in a worse position. And then we end up where we are now. And I'm sitting there, I look back and it's like, so this is the thing with this is why I don't want United fans to do the point scoring. Some will say, because you don't want to be cooked now. You can't cook me. Me saying I'm going to give a new manager time, and I'm going to stay as patient as possible until 5-10 games into the season when pre-season is done. You can cook me for doing that. It's just my way of being as an individual. I let things play out before I go completely in. You can cook me on that if you want. I'm never going to change that part of my humanity. It's just me. But I don't. It's the point scoring is crazy, because I could go back now. So a lot of the YouTubers claiming I'd write about Ruben. They're right about Ruben. But you were the same guys that said when Ollie leaves, we're going to go to another level. Look where we are now. So how far back can we go to say you were right or wrong? It just becomes a horrible game. I'm not playing that game. I'm saying just drop that game and let's have actual conversations about our football club and what can improve it. And one thing I agree with Staffy on, you know, as much as Staffy thinks me and him disagree on a lot of things, we don't. It's just sometimes our understanding of the meaning of a word or where it should and shouldn't be used. But like, I agree. The thing we should really focus on, this should be our main focus as fans, is can we bring someone in? And I agree with Staffy 100% on this. That's why the argument we had wound me up so much, because for me, I don't think it should take more than a couple of months for a manager to come in and get us playing a style of football where we're competitive, competent, and we're not a laughingstock.
I'd find it brilliant if you've got Glasner, by the way, just to see the 3-4-2-1 haters have to try and because if it works with Glasner,
I agree.
they'd have to know something. Go, oh, it does work.
I agree.
Terry,
Equally, imagine it doesn't work. Imagine it doesn't work, but it's been working for him at Crystal Palace. And
well, now there's another conversation.
But again, I don't want it. I wish it weren't Man United because part of me, because when you say this, people think you're not being a fan. But there's this element of me that's like, I don't think we can do what Palace do. We don't have the physicality they do. They've got so much more speed, power, and athleticism, and technical ability in the middle with the likes of Wharton, Gahey at the back. Although we've got some decent centre backs in terms of footballing. But I would almost a part of me would almost love to see it not work with the manager playing the same formation that's making it work in the Prem already, just for the discourse to go, well, let's pick the bones out of that. And the reason why is I hope I'm wrong and he comes in and I hope he plays that formation, adapts slightly, and we kill it. And people can go, Terry, you were wrong. There weren't all these deep root-lying issues that were still at the club that used to exist. And I'll be like, mate, I've never been so happy to. I'll be celebrating. I'll be there. I'm open-minded to being wrong. I don't have an agenda when it comes to this. My fear, though, is being right, actually, not being wrong. I'm not scared of being wrong on this. I'm scared that we bring someone in and it's as bad or only slightly better. And you sit there and it's like, guys, this is what I was trying to say. I know Amorim had to be criticised, but we are again focusing on sleight of hand. We're always focusing here. And whenever the focus is so strong, that part of me is like, I've got to look over there as well, though. There's something over there that's bothering me. But I hope I'm wrong. I hope, again, that humble pie will taste brilliant because my football team will be good. And that's all I'm in this for, is to talk football and I hope my football team does well. Sorry, Giuseppe, you were going to say something, bro.
Yeah, no, I was going to say that's why I think you've got to go for a Premier League manager, mate. Because I would look at you and I'd say the one thing you haven't done, the one thing you've done kind of wrong, in my opinion, is you've had players, right? And you've had a team that's a bit like when Arsenal a few years back was a bit, there's toxicity there and all this sort of stuff around the club and that. And what you're asking the manager to do is you're asking the manager to come in and not only address all this stuff, but also transition to playing in the Premier League and adapt to playing in the Premier League, which is not easy, right? That coupled with what you were doing. Now, when we brought in Arteta, to use us, he was in the Premier League. He was under Pep Guardiola. I know it was his first job, but he was under Pep Guardiola in the Premier League with a Premier League manager, seeing how the Premier League is, knowing that. So when he come in, you haven't actually had that since Jose Mourinho, which one, he's gone past it, and two, looking back, the seasons that he was there didn't do too bad. I think second and a couple of trophies.
Great point.
Since then, Ollie, Ten Hag, Amorim, all these guys have come from abroad and they've fouled. So that's
Ollie's
why I
wasn't
think
bad,
that
though. Ollie's unlucky because he was at Ollie's style of football would look even better now. He'd have an even better rep now.
Ollie is a little bit like when I was talking about Southgate. It doesn't need to be Southgate. I'm only using Southgate because he's linked to us. I think an Ollie, Carrick, Southgate, I think a manager of that level could be fine. We shouldn't make the mistake we did with Ollie. He might have even needed the next season. But once that squad was building out to look quite good and strong and we were a top 4 team again, that's when you go, right, we've kind of fixed quite a few bits. Let's bring the next guy in who can take us to another level. So we might need that as an example. But as I say, also my theory is that we do improve short term. And again, everyone does that. Oh, I was right. It'll be that. By the way, it will be those same people because of the arrogance they have, which will be like, but to what ends? Because I still don't see it. Glasner could come in and get us performing amazingly. I still don't see us being more than a top six team, top 8 team until the squad's improved. And hopefully then the fans will say, well, we're winning more games, we're looking better. Let's have patience now in building the squad out to get to where we want to be. That's my hope. This here says, agreed, Tel, United need their version of Eddie Howe until the culture is fixed and the squad is ready to play a consistent style first 11 to under 18s. Eddie Howe's a very good. I'd put Eddie Howe in a category above Michael Carrick and even Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. I think he's a better coach. I think he's a better man manager. It won't be him, but yeah, I mean, I'm not. I just want us to get better. I don't want us to just experiment per se, but I want us to be very, very mindful of someone that really can handle this current squad that we've got and the limitations that it has, And again, I don't want us to adapt fully though, and just bow down to these players. And where do you want to play, mate? Do you want to track back, or do you want to be in a free roll? No, we still need to have a regimented nature with an element of adaptation is needed. Almost everyone has been saying no defending EPL champions have added this many top players in the transfer window to go at one go. Transition. Well, it was something that was thrown at Hassam quite a lot, and Hassam sort of said they'll handle it fine because the core is still there. I'll have that conversation with him on Wednesday on Straight Facts.